To be serious, I love the idea of multiverse or many histories approach. And another interesting thing about it is that histories can remerge, right? So it's like you flip a coin, and in some sense, the universes would diverge. There'd be two distinct universes, or let's say the volume of universes that you were traveling in, that part of you was traveling in, would get divided. And but if that didn't change the world, there was no decision based on the coin flip, and people forgot how the coin was flipped, and you can actually have a remerger where that event didn't affect the history, and you'd have the universes remerging. That's sort of an interesting thing. The other interesting thing is that there is some interaction between recently split universes. Universes that diverged are nearby in some sense, and they still interact with each other, a la the two slit experiment. So that's kind of interesting. And I would suggest some science fiction, speculative fiction by an author named Greg Egan. He has done some great work on thinking about this idea of the multiverse, in a science fiction, context, and kind of bringing it home to people. And he makes you realize that if there's multiple universes, it's not like you have a copy, a clone that's separate from you. It's actually a part of your body. It's just that you have a part of your body in all these universes, and each brain in each universe can't communicate with the brain in another universe. So they think they're separate, but really your whole being is all of these bodies in all of the universes, and it brings up the idea that if there was some way to, quantum tunnel communicate between the different universes, that all those brains could add together into their full volume of thinking power and focus on thoughts altogether, it'd be a very powerful, very a very powerful, a very powerful thing if you could have something like that. And so, so he has some interesting ideas there of people that are in touch with their bodies in all the universes, and they can do amazing quantum things like just put a paperclip in a lock and twist it, and the lock opens. There's a 1 in a million chance of picking a lock that way, but he was in touch with all of his bodies in all the different universes, so he could just try it and follow the 1 in a million that it succeeded for. So yeah, it's bizarre and very interesting, and oddly, it's a lovely thing for those of us that like science fiction or speculative fiction, in the sense that it's also sort of the more reasonable. The whole Copenhagen collapse thing, and invocation of Dirac functions and stuff like this is, yeah, did I get that name right? But is is a lot. It invokes discontinuity, whereas the multiverse preserves continuity, which we sort of want to preserve. We have a desire for there to be consistency in the universe. So, all right, cheers.